Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, talking about Ethereum, the latest price movements, the big price moves, and the new all-time high for Ethereum. Why it seems to be getting a lot of interest right now specifically. Going to have a look at the chart both in the short term and a longer term chart. We're also going to compare it to Bitcoin in terms of the price and some other cryptocurrencies, including some short and long term price predictions. A lot of people predicting maybe a $2,000 Ethereum price shortly, and then moving on to some crazy predictions like 30 or 50,000. Is that possible in the future? Well, we're going to look into that in this video. But let's get right into looking at the Ethereum price chart right now. And if you do want the latest crypto content, do subscribe to the channel. Also, just a warning, there's tons of scammers in the comments. Do not fall for it. Do not contact them in any way on Telegram. I will not ask for your details at all. Let's look at the Ethereum price chart right now. And I've got this up here really with some Fibonacci levels right here. And we're looking at the last sort of month or so. And yeah, Ethereum has hit an all-time high recently. Just coming off those levels now though. Few reasons for this. We're seeing some other cryptocurrencies also hitting highs and then coming off, maybe a consolidation right now. But we're seeing this really large price movement right here at this all-time high, coming off to actually some support levels. And we've seen really this cryptocurrency actually trade within some level. It's really, really difficult because it's had such a ridiculous move, such a massive move here. You can see this really positive move. Did hit some support right here and it bounced off that. And then it's actually hitting a support line on this Fibonacci retracement right here. And you can see the trend line up here. So if it does continue with this trend upwards, we should be seeing very soon also testing all-time highs once more. And then that price prediction that a lot of people are looking at, 2000, and yeah, there's absolutely no reason why it can't hit that, because if you're looking at the market cap in general, it can come down, 150 billion. This could easily go up to 250 billion, no problem. And we'll get into why that is the case in a second with the latest news and the updates on the Ethereum network. Now, we've seen Bitcoin hit all-time highs recently as well, and you can see the price movements. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum do trade together. The delta is quite high, meaning they are correlated in the way that they trade. And right now, this week, we have seen some highs and prices are starting to come off a little bit. Like I said, maybe some consolidation, but we also have the inauguration in the States, a lot of news there. And you can actually see volumes. Volumes are super important when you're trading cryptocurrencies, to look at the volume, not just the price movement, because that can really tell you the strength of a move. The price is less important when it comes to these things. I think cryptocurrencies do move in such a strong way that it is good to look at the volumes as well. So we can see with this big up move here, we had a lot of volume. Volume's actually been coming down, which means that really we are just seeing less interest overall in the last few days. But that also goes with the stock market as well. As I said, news in the States and the inauguration. I think people are just playing a waiting game right now, maybe just laying off trading and seeing what happens. But we can definitely see this trend on the chart anyway, moving upwards and testing these highs again. There's also some news about Ethereum running low at some exchanges, which may also be a reason behind the price surge. So this is obviously needed for contracts on the network. People need to pay gas fees and certain other things. So the demand for Ethereum is quite high, but the circulating coins have actually been reducing. A lot of people are staking Ethereum coins right now. And as demand goes up, we are seeing demand for Ethereum, genuine demand for the coins, which is obviously backing this price move as well. This can be seen as a positive for the price movement short term. Demand is high and coins maybe are being staked, but that's also actually a weakness for the network in general. I'm talking about the blockchain in general, because high fees, high gas fees, which we'll talk about, is not a great thing for long-term demand. We're going to look at current Google Trends with Ethereum, and you can see that it's absolutely nowhere near all-time highs in terms of search results. I've also heard that a lot of new investors, these are retail investors, are actually not being able to open accounts. There's a backlog of accounts that need to be opened on these retail sites, which means that over the next few months, we should actually see that clear and more retail investors come in and possibly drive the price up further from here. I've also seen data that actually the majority of trades in Ethereum right now are not large trades, under $100,000. for the trade in terms of value, which means that this may be mostly retail investors right now. That's not the best because obviously you want institutions in there. So there could be some choppy trade in this for sure, but it does mean that institutions may be yet to come for this, which could see again that move way up and break new ground in terms of the chart. Let's take a look at the Ethereum chart against Bitcoin. So I'm just going to come into this, and actually Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin recently. So if you're trading these in a pair, which one do I think will actually outperform the other? Of course, if Bitcoin performs exactly the same as Ethereum, I would suggest Bitcoin as an investment because it is seen as the gold standard of cryptocurrencies. But Ethereum does have a long way to go in terms of its network's upgrades. And in terms of performance against Bitcoin, it is more risky. It's not a gold standard, but it is becoming more of a asset that people are investing in, including institutions that want to have a store of value and something that will grow over time, as well as Bitcoin. So they've actually traded kind of sideways recently, but you can see certainly Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. So if you're trading that currency pair, then you would have done well to actually be selling your Bitcoin into Ethereum for right now. There are also other cryptocurrencies that Ethereum will benefit from, Polkadot, Cardano. A lot of these altcoins actually using the Ethereum network, which is just a positive for Ethereum overall, in my opinion, and will see the market cap continue to rise from 150 billion onwards. So that 2000 price target short term, and really Ethereum 2.0 is for me the catalyst to drive it further in the long term. When you compare the market cap of Ethereum and what Ethereum 2.0 will do, opening up the network, also creating lower gas fees and more transaction capability, that for me is the fundamental that will drive Ethereum. Short-term price movements up to 2000. It could just chart there, to be honest, and we'll go back to Ethereum versus the USD. Even though we may see sell-offs in this stock, even now when it's trading down like this, you can see it's still not broken really through any support levels. So this is key right now. If the price actually does break down through these support levels, then obviously we could see it moving lower, maybe to around 1000. That could be potentially a very low target. Importantly, it's not really broken through these support levels at all. It's using these support levels as a support to then go and bounce and move higher right now. Of course, this can change short term, but long term, we're seeing the fundamentals of decentralized finance on the network as a big positive. The weakness of this network for me is the high gas fees, astronomical gas fees right now that we've seen in Ethereum. This for me is one of the biggest weaknesses. High fees means that a lot of people just don't want to put their transactions through Ethereum. Why would you want to pay astronomical gas fees? It's a real problem right now, but we are seeing Ethereum try to counteract this. Also, I wanted to highlight news that PayPal are actually allowing cryptocurrency markets on their platform now. So people using the platform can actually use cryptocurrencies through PayPal to pay for things. Ethereum is one of these. Bitcoin, of course, is another one. But having Ethereum to be used on PayPal, it just opens up a lot of customers and really opens up these cryptocurrencies to seem as a more normal thing. And you need mass adoption if you are going to see the price continue to rise and people also using this network further. Something called EIP 1599 is essentially a way for the Ethereum network to standardize gas fees and really prevent those times where gas fees are super high. So obviously having a very high gas fee is not conducive to a lot of people using and trusting to use the network. A lot of miners are very unhappy about this change, basically because Ethereum fees will be reduced or the tips that they get will be reduced. So this 1599 framework really is just going to split gas fees into two areas. You have the base gas fee and then you have the tip that the miners have. And the base gas fee will adjust depending on how many transactions are in the block. As you can see from these articles, Ethereum transaction fees are calculated using a system known as first price auction. Under this system, users essentially bid to have their transactions included in the next block. The problem with this is that it often leads to overpayment by hasty users, which subsequently causes average fees to rise across the board. This is absolutely not good for the long-term health of the network. And even though fees may reduce over the long term, I think uptake of the network because of this will increase. So even though maybe demand for coins in the short term because of this change will actually reduce, that could actually have downward pressure on the price. I think long term, a gas fee that is known by users is a better long-term bet for the network. We also have a report on GitHub that goes through all of these changes and if they will actually be beneficial. And it says, since we cannot control user demand for block space, we cannot assert at the moment whether Ethereum will end up inflationary or deflationary. So this causes the core developers to lose some control over Ethereum's long-term monetary policy. We have to assume that demand for the Ethereum network will only increase over time as blockchain adoption increases. And so having the situation we have now of going through these crazy high gas fees when demand is high, that's just not good for long-term adoption of the network. So I personally believe this is a good thing overall. We will have to see though how this implementation affects the prices in the short term. The move to the Ethereum 2.0 network is also an area for me that has a positive and a negative. So firstly, Ethereum 2.0 is going to open up the network to more people, and that is only a good thing. It will reduce fees as well, which I believe is a good thing long term. It could have some downward pressure on the price though. When Ethereum does go over to 2.0, you're going to have a lot of people with a lot of coins that have been staked for a long time, and they could potentially receive those coins back and sell those coins. That would have downward pressure on the price. I think long term overall though, the move to a proof of stake blockchain is positive for Ethereum and the many other coins that are going to benefit from that network. And that is also a net positive for Ethereum. This is still a bullish chart for sure and hasn't really broken through many support levels, to be honest. It just seems to be going higher. There are some downside factors. Short term though, there does seem to be a lot of interest in Ethereum, in the blockchain in general. We'll just go to a 30-day chart and actually see that interest overall has come off a little bit, which has seen those kind of sideways moves in a lot of cryptocurrencies. Long-term trends are up though, so use these short-term dips where they do find support maybe as buying opportunities if you're looking to accumulate any of these cryptocurrencies, and Ethereum is the same as that. This is really a news and update video on Ethereum. If you do like this type of video, this type of content, do let me know in the comments section. Give it a thumbs up so that I know to make more of this type of content. Also, just subscribe for way more videos in terms of cryptocurrency, and I'll see you in the next one.